Making games can be really fun, especially when you look back on all the progress that you've made over time. But it can also be really exhausting or demotivating. When you're doing something like this, for example. No, still not quite what I want. That's even worse. Just end my suffering, please. But what's probably the worst thing to get stuck on is when you start wondering if your game is even fun at all, or if it's just too boring. So here's my game 2-Tap Dungeon, a randomly generated dungeon crawler with only 2 buttons. What you're seeing right now is what it looked like a few weeks ago. I'm going to give you some tips on how to make your game feel more fun to play. And I'm gonna do that by using 2-Tap Dungeon as my little guinea pig. I'm going to bully you and test useless things in you and give you a terrible so that eventually you can be really cool and fun. So first of all, feedback. No, not from other people, but from your game. Shut up, backseat developers. Not cool. You're bad bread. I don't know. Now there's 2 kinds of feedback you can get from your game. Visual feedback, where something changes on your screen when you perform an action, for example. Or audio feedback, when you die or kill an enemy or whatever. Probably when you die because you're bad. Both are very important when it comes to making your game feel nice to play. Visual feedback often happens in the form of particles, which are like beautiful and legal fireworks, unless they're a bunch of Right now in 2-Tap Dungeon you just move around and automatically attack every 3 seconds, but neither the walking or attacking feels satisfying at all. So we need visual feedback and audio feedback, but that's for another time because I'm addicted to Minecraft and I really want to get back to playing that. Whenever we move, we always hit a tile, obviously, because it's a tile-based game. Surprise! So I figured I'd give every regular tile we walk on an animation when we collide with it. I just replaced the regular tile with a scriptable tile, which I'll explain in the future, because scriptable tiles are beautiful. And then whenever we hit it, it goes woo! Now we get some sort of visual feedback that we moved. But it could still be a little better. It's still a little generic right now. Yes, I know my lip looks disgusting, at least it now matches the rest of my face. So what if we temporarily change the tile's color and maybe add a line? Obviously, you do not want the visual feedback to be distracting from the game itself. That would be a serious issue. So in the end, I went with just the animation, and also while it's doing the animation, I have it change its color for a little tiny bit. And at least it now doesn't shine bright like a diamond and have Rihanna ruin the rest of this video for me. Now when I walk, I can feel there's much more to it than just me having moved the tile. It's this weird thing your brain does that makes it just feel a little bit nicer. Like when the volume on the TV is a complete number, or when you take a crap and then suddenly it... However, I did need some help in choosing what animation to use in the end. Which brings me to my second point. Human feedback! There is nothing more helpful than hearing other people's opinions. Real opinions, obviously. Not people saying things like, I don't like your voice. Well, I'm sorry, Mr. I yell at people on the internet because I lack the confidence to do anything useful with my life. Feedback from people that have actually played your game, or maybe even just watched some gameplay, is one of the greatest ways to make your game more fun. They're the ones that are gonna play it more, after all. So ask people for their thoughts every now and then. You'll be surprised at how useful it could be. Or maybe you do not want to spoil your game to the public too much, but you're still not sure if that one thing in your game is actually fun enough. That's where point 3 comes in. Become a famous actor. What's up, Red Pet? How's it going? Yeah, I'm good. Nice to meet you too. It's been fun. We're homies, right? Yeah. Not talking to my window whatsoever, because that would be weird. Brad Pitt and I are homies. What I actually mean is become the player. Put yourself in the player's shoes. You can't see my shoes, but I thought I'd stand up, so change the scenery. Sucks. So basically, all you gotta do is to be a complete dumbass while playing your game.
Oh my god. Ah! No!
Was that thing you worried about fun? Was it frustrating? Was it anything like how you wanted it to feel? Am I annoying for switching between these sites all the time? Who knows? You do. However, it is important that you do not see it as regular playtesting, but more like trying to play the game as a regular player. Because since you're making the game, you do not see the game the same as everybody else does. So if you can become the player, you'll see it the way everybody else does, and therefore you can see what you actually think of the game. The player knows really well what they find fun about your game and what they find annoying, and what makes them close it and what makes them unzip their Although this method could be a little harder to do, I think it's a good way of trying to improve your game. That's, for example, how I found out that the shop that I added is completely useless with the amount of coins you can find in the dungeon. So I need to increase the coin drop chance with enemies. Because I can simply change the amount of coins that I have while I'm testing, I didn't notice that that was so bad. Finally, I also wanted to talk about randomness and variety and all that good stuff, but to be honest, I kinda just watched a video by the GameMaker's Toolkit about that, and honestly, you should probably watch that if you're interested. It can really help your game out to do randomness properly, so go check that out. If you mess it up, it is not my fault, I did warn you. Also, yes, this is a different day. Good job for noticing. Whoa, you actually made it to this part of the video? Good job, I'd give you a pat on the shoulder, but I can't reach. Besides, you smell. Seriously, when was the last time you showered? Anyways, in the end, with all these tips, or whatever you want to call them, you should have some kind of idea on how to make your game more fun. Don't blindly follow my words, you should always consider what you think works best. Just think of it as a suggestion. But I do hope this helped you out. Be sure to like this video and subscribe. It really helps me out as I'm trying to make game development a more serious part of my life, not just making silly games for YouTube, you know. Also, follow me on social media if you want, where I post a bunch of random crap. Also, if you want to support me, I made a Tip-E page. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but that doesn't matter. There's a link in the description in case you want to do that. If you don't want to do that, just liking, subscribing, and commenting really helps out. Cool, I'll see you all next time. This was fun, let's do it some more. Oh, by the way, please do not forget to feed your wallpaper from time to time. People tend to forget that for some reason. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Bye. Sick. Awesome.